Hello, good morning, and welcome to the NuSpecian Live. I'm Jillian.
And Aston, good morning, morning, morning.
For those
Mhm.
of you who are new to NuSpecies and you're here to get more information, NuSpecies is a natural health company. We invent and manufacture here in the United States our own line of unique herbal formulations and plant-based supplements. All of our formulas were invented by Afton right here, and we're designed to help your body be resilient against the toughest of health challenges. And good health choices are different for everybody. So what might be a good choice for you may not be for someone else. And we've learned this in great detail, working with thousands and thousands of you over the last 16 years for me and longer for Aston. And so that's why we host this Q&A every Saturday at 10 a.m. so that you can get the answers, hopefully, to your questions that will help you continue along your own unique health journey.
And this is the year that we are making a lot of changes at New Species for you. And we are going to enlist all of you as apostles of New Species, evangelists, missionaries. This is the year we want to reach out and help a lot more people, including, our family members, meaning yours as well. And I talked with Jillian about that, reaching out to family members and have one-on-one with them. And I want you to do the same. And we want to enable you to do the same. Those stubborn family members who don't want to take care of themselves, but you know that when they're sick, you're sick too, because it affects you. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what you think. You are going to ignore them. You don't care. You did your best. You still feel pain when they're sick and dying, especially when they're dead. So this year is going to be the year to all of us get converted into apostles. What that means is that we're going to be kind with them, even though they're stubborn as hell, as my grandmother would say. But we're going to work with them. We're going to do the best we can to help them to get help.
Yeah, and I would say a lot of that stubbornness comes from extreme frustration with lots of conflicting information out there, whether it's getting lost in the medical system, which I call medical prison, or whether it's trying to your best to research online and find good health information and finding that every expert contradicts each other. It can be extremely frustrating and you just want to throw up your hands. Um, and then, then other folks asked, how often do we hear, my doctor diagnosed me with X, but I don't claim it? As if like acknowledging the existence of the disease is allowing it to get worse, right?
Hmm. I hear it all the time, and
Mm.
I know that for a lot of people, that's how they get from one day to the next. But if you don't fully embrace a situation in your life, in our lives, if we don't fully embrace it, we're not going to put our best out to make sure it's rectified. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to embrace it, acknowledge it, understand it, really know what it is. If you don't know what it is, talk with someone who can help you understand what it really is and what it means for your health and
Mm-hmm.
your life. And we're always here, as you know. So you must acknowledge when the doctors say you have this health issue, don't deny it. Don't say you don't own it. You have to own it because
Mm-hmm.
it's in your body, it's in your tissue, it's in your organ, and it's potentially dangerous to your health. So, or in your life. So you should acknowledge
Mm-hmm.
it so that you can do the best you can to get the best support you can, whether it's medical, natural, or otherwise.
We had a question we didn't get to last week from Sandra, and she had asked if someone's PSA is 0.06, what is needed to fix it? So I was thinking before you answer that directly, you could back up and just give some context of what is the range that your PSA could be, what ideally should it be, and if it's 0.06, what might that mean? And then, what do you do about it?
0.06. So some lab companies, they they have the range listed in the lab as in the lab report, the blood test report as 0 to 4. If you're in that range, it's normal. 0 to 4 is normal. And there are other lab companies where they have point 0.6, 0.6 to 4 as normal. So different laboratories, they have different algorithm they use um, when they do blood tests, just so you all know. So if you go to Quest and your cholesterol is 199, which would be the total cholesterol perfectly normal, you could go to another lab company, you could go to LabCorp, and your cholesterol 1 week later is 220, and it could be listed as 220 as being normal. I am not being accurate about these lab companies. I'm just saying that different lab companies have different algorithms. So if you have LabCorp or Quest, don't pull it up and look at it at this point. Just be aware that if your doctors are using different lab companies, you should be careful that they have different algorithms. So one may be using a lower range or a higher range, and your numbers could be normal, but you have to verify that with your doctor. You should allow your doctor to do the comparative analysis. You shouldn't do it yourself. So PSA 0 to 4 or 0.6 to 4 are considered normal by some blood test organizations. However, you said that the PSA is 0.06. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have PSA that is 0.06, that it means that that person does not have a prostate because it's too low. So zero point 0 is in the minus quantity. This person now, the PSA is below 0 or almost below 0. It's close to being below 0. If it's point zero, not 0.6, point 0. So that person likely has no prostate. It was probably removed or radiated or some other medical treatment that eradicated the prostate, even if it's still in the person's body, it's dead, essentially.
Hmm.
So 0.06 means that that person's PSA is 0, almost 0. And there's nothing you can do. But on the other hand, if you're saying that the person has a prostate, wasn't radiated, wasn't medicated by chemotherapy or any other medical treatments, it wasn't surgically removed, and the PSA is 0.06, I would like to see the lab report of that person and any MRI or scans or images that were done, because a living prostate, it is biologically impossible to have an organ, a prostate organ that's alive and healthy that is 0.06. It is
Hmm.
biologically, in my knowledge, it's biologically impossible. So I would like to see the labs, and I'd like to see the any MRI or images that were done.
Okay. And I'm
Yeah.
wondering if I don't know if Sandra, if you're on today, but I'm wondering if when Sandra asked if it can be improved, if she was thinking that it has to be 0, or if she was thinking that she knows it shouldn't be below 1 if you have a prostate. But then I feel like she would know that this person didn't have a prostate. So, but some people don't realize that PSA is like the prostate specific antigen. So it is like the it is testing something related to the organ. Um,
Yeah, it's a protein produced by the prostate. So, but let's say Lorna meant it's zero point 0.6, and I'm assuming it could be her husband or her father, grandfather who have a prostate issue. then I would need to know, because that
Hmm.
would open up a whole different volume of discussion, or not, information to discuss. So I don't think it makes any sense to go down that road, because it takes on a whole different meaning if that's the
Hmm.
case. Yeah, it could be a testosterone issues, Lana. If that's the case, if the PSA is too low, it means that the man's body is not producing enough testosterone. Testosterone is the hormones that's tied to a man's lifeline when it comes to muscles and the heart, the brain, health in general, energy. This is how estrogen is the hormones that ties to a woman's lifeline.
Hmm.
Testosterone is that for a man. So it would take on a whole nother discussion as to what's going on with that person, why their PSA is so low.
Hmm. All right. So I actually thought that, we've been checking out your comments on YouTube. Apologize that some of you do comment on our videos after we're no longer live. And then we're not super focused on social media. So we're not always looking at all those comments. Um, but we do eventually reply. And I did see one person comment on one of our videos saying that they didn't get results. Um, and not in the nicest way. We always believe respect is the best way to go. If you are unhappy, Aston and I are here to always make sure that we've done everything that we can to help you get results. And if you don't feel that you have, we would love to talk to you. So because there's usually, I mean, there are many reasons why someone may not get results, and so a lot of them are subjective. So I would like us, and I think it's good for us to maybe lay out some of what goes into the thinking of whether someone can get results and what it will take for them to get results. And some people who think that they didn't get results just either didn't go through the protocol correctly, um, maybe didn't have the right expectations from the start. Because our reputation tends to precede us and people get really amazing results with serious health issues, the word can spread that our products are like medicine, but they're not medicine. They are the tools your body has to use to fix itself. So if we're working along with your body, we're limited by what your body can do. And we can't figure that out until we start working with you. So there's a lot of areas of getting results, what that means that we could talk about, Aston. But we always, we're ready to talk to you and try to figure out how to help you. So, if you're just posting to be mean, don't do that. It's not nice. Otherwise, we will always still respectfully reply and let you know that we're still here for you if you'd like to talk about it. Having said that, though, Aston, what are some, like, if you could give every new client who comes to NuSpecies a speech, there was time to give them a whole preamble, what would you want to say to set them up for success? What do you think they need to know or like have to be in sync with to optimize their chances for success with NuSpecies?
So before I get to your question,
Okay.
I want to say this, that we are helping up to about 98% of all our clients worldwide. And as you all know, I talk to all of you. If I don't speak with you because you went online and you purchased without me, without speaking with me, but over the last 20 years, I have spoken with all of you, all of you, and we're helping up to 98% of all our clients worldwide. And I don't know of any other company on the earth that can say that. I am saying that. We are saying that because I speak with all of you. Now, this lady, I went back and read the notes. I spoke with her twice.
Mm-hmm.
And my heart breaks for her. It truly breaks for her,
Mm-hmm.
in ways that maybe you all can't even imagine. So when she came to see me, to talk to me, she said her doctors told her they can do nothing for her. She has a sore in her foot, and her foot was swollen. And she said it felt like something was eaten on the inside of her bone.
Mm.
Those are her words, it's written in my notes. And if we want to show the notes, we can show the notes without showing the person's name. But she was told by her doctors repeatedly that they could not help her. The painkillers didn't work, the anti-inflammatory medication she got didn't work. So my heart breaks for her. And she came to us and she bought twice. She bought twice and she didn't the eating and the excruciating pain, the itching, the burning, the swelling didn't get better. It didn't go away. It got a little better, but it didn't go away. She was still suffering, and the last time I spoke with her, she was still suffering. So my heart breaks for her.
Hmm.
When it comes to and all of you on the call right now, you should tell me if I've ever promised to heal your issues in 1 month or 2 months or buying one, system from NuSpecies or two, I want you to tell me the truth. I want you to tell the world the truth if I ever said that, because I don't mislead any of you. I go through your labs, I go through your images, and I tell you what's there, and I tell you what we can do to help. Some people get help early. I usually tell people within 3 months they should start seeing some changes for the better. Um, but I feel it for this lady, and I want you all to feel it for her too. That's all I can tell you. She was suffering. Imagine you feel 24/7 like something is eating at your bone, and the images she's done, the x-rays she's done, couldn't find out what was wrong with her. And the doctors just tell her to go home, they can't help her. And she came to us. So my heart truly breaks for her. And I want you all to pray for her. If she's still going through all that misery, no one should suffer like that. And I myself was not able, because her lab reports were clean, her images were clean, her x-rays were clean. There were nothing to indicate what was wrong with her. So she's a one-off. We have had thousands of people with stage 4 cancer who have come to us. And I'm using stage 4 because it's the worst form of cancer, or end stage 4, which is the ultimate worst form of cancer. So and we have helped a lot of those people to live better, live longer. In some cases, a lot of those people are still alive. So, but we can't tell you that. No doctor or scientist on the earth can tell you that you're going to get better from your issue in 1 week or uh, or 1 month or 1 year. No doctor, no scientist can do that. It is not biologically, scientifically possible for any doctor or scientist that can tell you that your body will heal up itself within whatever period of time. So she came to us for a quick fix, which was necessary because she was suffering. And obviously, by her comments, I haven't spoken with her since. By her comments, she didn't get what she expected, the help she expected. So my heart breaks for her. So you all should say a prayer for her. Hopefully she's still alive and she's still out there. Or hopefully she's gotten help by now from somewhere, from the doctors or somewhere. But that's all I can say to you all about that. But if you all have, taken these speeches and you're not getting results, that's why I follow up with you. With some of you, I've talked with you half a dozen times, dozens of times, probably hundreds of times in some cases over the years. And you know that we at NuSpecies, we give our time freely. That's why we do. We do because when you do the first consultation, it is not enough to get you straight. That's why we have had nurses in the past, medical doctors in the past, nutritionists, dietitians in the past to help you along the way. That's why we do that, because we know that you need to talk to at least me a number of times before you are on your path to recovery from the health issues you have. Unfortunately, I was unable to speak with this lady twice. I did the consultation and I checked in with her 2 weeks later or so, and then I have not spoken with her again. And it doesn't seem like the NuSpecies team has spoken with her either. So I wish she had come back to us and let us know that she was still suffering, but that
Mhm.
didn't happen. That didn't happen.
Right. And also just looking at the time frame of her work with us, I mean, that just wouldn't be long enough. When someone comes to us with different health issues, you usually give them pretty clear timelines. You know, like it's either going to take 3 months or sometimes you say a year or 2 years. And
Mm-hmm.
then you typically have a discussion about like what can you realistically afford if you have to be on the products that long. And you know, our products range from just your everyday supplements, the highest quality ones, to rebuilding formulas. So you wouldn't necessarily be on our rebuilding formulas all that time. A lot of people rotate in and out between the regular supplements and the rebuilders, depending on what their body needs. But yeah, just like, I mean, for a serious health issue like that, and only having worked with us for a few months, yeah, just it's just not long enough. Fitzgerald asks, can a person benefit from using El-Nu for wound care?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. We have had hundreds, probably thousands of people over the years who had sores. They had sores that wouldn't go away, and they use LMU1 topically, you know, on it, and the sores or the virus or bacteria in the sores or parasites could be in the sores as well were destroyed and their sores healed up completely and went away. So yes, you can. uh, Maybe you all can follow my my example. El New One is what I use as my lotion and as my mouthwash. So I used to have when I shaved, I used to have a lot of ingrown hairs and sores and boils and all of that. So it just occurred to me one day to just try it after I shave, and I did, and those boils and bumps and sores never came back to this day, like over 20 years. So since I've discovered that it was able to kill viruses because the viruses in the pores, that's what caused a lot of the skin issues. So we humans get this viruses in the pores. The pores are inflamed. The hair follicles are inflamed, and when viruses from the outside get into it, that's what causes a lot of skin rash, etc., sores, boils. So yes, LNU one, you can put it on topically like a lotion, 2 or 3 times a day if you have a chronic issue. Or your feet, your whole body. Maybe this lady who we just talked about, she could have done that. Um, I didn't see in my notes that I had recommended her. Well, I didn't talk to her enough to even get to that point anyway. What I initially recommended for her was something for pain because the doctor's medication for pain she was taking didn't work. All the painkillers she got didn't work. So we recommended what we normally use for pain, and clearly she wasn't on it long enough. She only bought it twice, and twice would not be enough. So yes, you can use only one topically as a lotion and as skincare.
Danielle O says, your products worked really well for me and my baby. My baby's skin greatly improved after having severe eczema, and I lost all of my pregnancy weight after a few months of taking your products. That's incredible, Danielle. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Awesome.
I'm curious if you put it topically, just because we're talking about the topical use of our formulas. I'm curious if you put it topically on your baby's skin or if your child took them orally. And then Danielle O says, just budget wise, she hasn't been able to continue, but when she gets a job again, she plans to buy the products again, which we really hope you do. And maybe we have products that you could be taking that you could afford, even just to keep, like I said, our more basic. I mean, none of our products are basic, but compared to our rebuilding formulas, which you may have been using, they are quite affordable. even just like the B vitamins, taking those on a daily basis, they last 3 months. And that can really help keep you going when you're not on the higher potency products, if that's what you need. So you can always call us and let us know. Like, I mean, if you literally have $0, then obviously we can't help. But if you have a little bit, even $20 a month, you can afford our B vitamins. And Suzanne, I can see she's up in arms for us. But I think there's a few typos there, Suzanne, so I can't fully say what you're saying, but she says, no. Suzanne July Brown, she's telling everybody it's going to take some time because everybody, I think she's saying, is different. She says, I was very sick for over 15 years with, I think, fibroids and low blood count and a lot more problems. And we know, oh yeah. And she says, and now I'm a living testimony to NuSpecies. It saved my life. I bleed for 5 years and I gave up. And with NuSpecies, I got better. But my body, no, I know it's so hard because a lot of you are on cell phones and it's not always easy to type very fast into the chat. NuSpecies is an excellent product for all of my family and friends. Thank you for sharing that, Suzanne. We really do appreciate that. Like, listen, we know we likely can't help everybody. That's crazy. Do we still try? Absolutely. And like there are so many reasons, so many factors that can impact whether somebody gets results and how they get those results. And that's why we do the consultations and so many appointments and we do the Q&A, because there's so many nuances. Our health is so complicated. NuSpecies formulas aren't medication, right? It's not like a medication you take from your doctor that its sole purpose is to force your blood pressure down. Even if your body doesn't want to, the medication is going to do it to you. With what? A whole lot of side effects and potentially very dangerous health outcomes in the long run. NuSpecies formulas are helping your body fix itself for permanent long-term results, which is a totally different mindset. And that mindset's not right for everybody. Some people just want medication and they want a medication that works, and that's not what we provide, you know? Verona, we're glad you're here. Oh yeah, I said that to Verona. She said, I've been with this family and I'm not leaving. Thank you, Verona. Queen Verona is here. And then Mary said, I also use it topically on my children when they have rashes or dry skin patches, and it clears right up. That's excellent. Yeah, that's so great. I wish I was more diligent about topical use. I do have discomforts with like stickiness on my skin, so I can be a little bit more of a baby about it. But I know if you ask our son to give you the his impression of Aston putting his El Nu on his skin every morning, you will crack up. So that's my, if you ever meet our son Giovanni, you let him give you that impression, you will get a good laugh.
Well, he's not suffering. I actually suffer with dry skin, so I have that issue as well. There are family members who have that issue as well. So, LMU1 has been a rescue in so many ways. And I also had issues with my gum for many years, people. And I've been using LMU1 as a mouthwash. I still do. And I've been doing it for 20 years. And when I go to the dentist, they would say, what do you do? Because your gum is not supposed to be that healthy. And I would say, what do you mean? So I use it as a mouthwash. It keeps, my gum healthy because it's nourishing. When you use it as a mouthwash, you're actually nourishing your gum and the pulp cavity of your teeth, which is a really great thing. And I had like 4 fillings. I lost 3. I still have 1. They just fell out. The fillings just fell out, and the enamel regrew. The enamel regrew and covered the pulp cavity as an adult.
All right, we've got a couple more questions. We have one from E. Dennis that I missed earlier, and then 2 over on Instagram. So I see all of your questions, and we're going to get to them right now. So first, D. Ennis had asked about, and also Andrea, I see your question too. Okay, Mary's going to help me keep track of all of these. And then where is the darling D. Ennis? Okay, what NuSpecies product can I take for indigestion?
So we have the ideal, which is more potent, costs a few more pennies, and then we have the basic. I'm going to say the basic, and then if you want to do something stronger, depending on how but you're suffering with indigestion, if you have acid reflux, or if you have any kind of gastric issues, bloating, etc., constipation, those are all, part of indigestion, believe it or not. So you could be taking the bee pollen, the probiotics. Those are two good ones for you to start with. And if you have more chronic issues, you could be taking the NU1 with it and the New Genesis. So if you really want to, fix the issues as quickly as possible, the indigestion, if you have constipation with it, acid reflux, you have any of those issues along with it, you could take the New Genesis, the NU1, along with the bee pollen and the probiotics. And, a lot of these recommendations that I am making now in since the last 6 months and now in the new year 2025, you all have probably noticed, especially clients who've been around for a number of years, I have changed a lot of my recommendation so that you can see results faster. Now, the lady who is suffering, I'm actually going to reach out to her and see if she's still around, and I'm still going to try to help her because I feel her pain. And that's why we do this, people. We feel your pain. We feel your pain. And that's why we take so much time to spend with you and give you our free time. That's part of the reason we do that. So I will reach out to her today, actually. I'm going to try to reach her. And we have the new Genesis that we didn't have then. And the new Genesis that we have now, it is making all the formulas you're taking is making those by taking New Genesis with them or as part of your protocol or your package. The New Genesis is making these formulas way more potent and enabling you to see results faster, way faster. So New Genesis is the formula that's helping to rebuild the genes and the DNA. And you know that, or you should know that by now me saying it, that when you're rebuilding your genes and DNA, you're actually rebuilding the body overall in a significant way because genes and DNA are what mutate and lead to all the health issue. Every health issue we have relates back to damaged genes or mutating genes or malignant genes and DNA. All health issues. Unfortunately, as you all know, or you're going to know now by me saying it, gene therapy is still in its early experimental stage. There is no disease that gene therapy is effectively helping people with. Yes, people doing stem cells, and there's some experiments with sickle cell diseases, but those are experiments and they're in early clinical stage. So while the medical industry develop what they're developing for gene therapy, you can now take New Genesis. It will help you to rebuild your genes and your DNA. And by doing that, your immune system will become more powerful more quickly. Your body will rebuild overall more quickly. And when you're doing that, the body will heal itself. Your body will heal itself more quickly. So go back to the question, take the New Genesis with the NU1, with the bee pollen, and the probiotics, and you should be in good shape. And if you have other chronic digestive issues, let us know. If you have, any of the autoimmune, there are at least 10 or 20 different autoimmune diseases between the mouth and the rectum. If you're having any other significant health issues in the digestive tract, A to Z, let us know. Call us and let us know.
We are. All right. So Rebus asks, what do you use for lumps?
What type of lumps? Are the lumps inside the body, inside the organ, on the skin?
Right.
If it's, yeah. So we have a new protocol now for lumps. So let's put them all together in that little family that they are. So you have follicles, and those are the tiniest of lumps, whether in the organs or on the skin. And then you have nodules, which are the next up in the line, which are a little bigger than follicles. And then you have cysts, and then you have tumors or bumps, and then you have mass. So, and mass is the more extreme that could be potentially cancerous or cancerous. So if you have bumps or lumps or cysts or nodules, wherever you have them, fibroids are included. If you have breast lumps, they're included. If you have prostate lesions, disease in the prostate or enlarged prostate, usually that's what the lesions are, those are included. If you have a pituitary gland cyst or nodule or a tumor in the brain, that's included. So what we're doing starting last year and now continuing 2025, where all these lumps and bumps and cysts and nodules and follicles, they all have foundational beginning and development. Of course, they're related back to genes. So the recommendation for all that category will be, you need the MSM, of course, you need NuGenesis, you need the anti-inflammatory, and you need to get you need the MSM, the NuGenesis, the anti-inflammatory, and you need, if it's a lump in the breast or it's a lesion in the prostate, you need to add in the thyroid focus, and you can take half a bottle or a bottle daily. So you need those 4 things to address those lumps. And if you have breast lumps and you have prostate lesions, or if you have other lumps in other glands, like the pituitary gland in the brain, you need to cut out animal flesh, all animal flesh, all dairy products. You need to cut those out completely. And then you need to minimize your consumption of salt, sugar, and processed foods. One of the reasons why cancer is on the rise among young people between age 20 and 50, cancer is on the rise in a massive way, is because one of the primary reasons is because they're eating a lot of processed foods. So a lot of us, when we go to restaurants and we eat out, we don't know what we're getting. We don't know the season they're using. We don't know if the meat is safe. We just assume that they are, but they may not be. So if you have those lumps in your prostate or lesions in the prostate or the breast glands or your uterus or your ovaries or your pituitary gland, they're potentially cancerous. They are potentially cancerous. Those are the organs that have the most cancers. Men, the prostate; women, the breast; the uterus, the ovary; the thyroid, and the pituitary gland. Those are the organs that have the most cancers when it comes to lumps and bumps. Okay?
So Rebus followed up just saying the lump is between their stomach and chest, causing digestive issues.
Right. So what I recommend stands in, they should also get their lab reports and send it in. They should send in your lab, send in your image, your MRI. We need to determine the root cause. So while we are building up your immune system and fixing your genes and your DNA that's causing all these overgrowth of protein, and this is what's significant. We have these overgrown tissue. That's what we have. These are excess tissues. All these lumps, bump, nodules, they're excess tissues the body's producing. Guess what? The body's producing them because the genes are damaged. The genes are making abnormal proteins. And those abnormal proteins being made by the sick genes, they're creating abnormal tissues, overgrown tissues, whether it's lump, bumps, lesions, whatever you want to call them. It means the genes are damaged, and that's why the body has these overgrowths. They're overgrowths. They're excessive growths. They're tissue the body don't need that can turn to cancer.
Okay. What are the products that Rebus should get started using in the meantime while they're sending labs and making an appointment?
So NuGenesis, MSM, anti-inflammatory, and thyroid focus if the lump. So in his case, he said it's in the chest, but it could
Between
be
the stomach and chest.
it could be the liver. The liver is in the category of a gland because it produces hormones like other glands in the endocrine system. So that's why I need to see the MRI or any scan you've done to identify exactly where it is. Is it on the wall of the chest? Is it on the intestine? Is it on the liver, the pancreas? We need to
Mm,
know where it's located. Where it's located, folks, is absolutely critical. And that's again why we do consultation. I don't know how
right.
companies try to help you and they don't know what's wrong with you and they don't try to identify the root cause of what's wrong with you. I don't know how they do that. But when we can identify the issue you have and the cause, we can target it in what you take from new species to help you to support your body to fix it.
So Andrea was asking how to fix so her white blood cells count is low.
So all of you right now, if you're by your computer, you're by your my chart, you have your lab report, you should pull it up and look at your CBCs and see if your WBC is low. If your WBC is low, your immune system is extremely low, and your body can develop any disease, including cancer. It means you have no immune system to fight viruses, bacteria, parasites, microbes, chemicals. And I just named to you the primary cause of all diseases is all what I just said, and your immune system can't fight them. So the genes are going to they're going to be damaged by these chemicals or viruses or bacteria. So if your WBC is low, you need to get to new species right away. You need to, at minimum, you need to get on the new Genesis. You need to get on the LNU1, and probably you probably should get on the one of the God formulas, maybe the God Formula 1. You all should do it, even if it's a little bottle if your WBC is low. Now, if the WBC is low because you have an infection or you have chronic inflammation, then you may need to get the God Formula 4 if it's an infection, because the God Formula 4 is our antiviral, antibacterial, antimicrobial formula for infection that helps infections. If it's inflammation, chronic inflammation causing you to have the low WBC, and the chronic inflammation could be it could be your sedimentation, it could be the C-reactive protein being too high, it could be an iron, it could be a specific gravity. I can give you a long number of chronic inflammation markers. If it's any of those, then you need the anti-inflammatory. You may even need the upgraded anti-inflammatory. You have to remove the cause. If it's infection causing the immune system to be weak, you got to get rid of the infection. If it's inflammation, you got to get rid of the inflammation. If it's both, then you need the God formula along with the anti-inflammatory, along with the new Genesis and the LNU1. You need all of those. You need what you need, people. You need what you need. Yes, I'm yelling at you because you're all family and you know we love you. The body needs what it needs to fix itself. There's no magic and there's no miracle. At least I don't believe in those things.
And you don't really have to, because what the body can do already seems like magic and miracle. You just need to give it the power to do it. And Sharon, I see your question now, asking for recommendations for high cholesterol. So I'm going to screenshot this question and make sure we get to it first thing next week. If you need to, in the meantime, you can talk to either Aston or one of our team members, and they can walk you through some starter packages. You can never go wrong with the starter packages. I know a lot of people are always thinking that if they don't go to the highest potency package immediately, that they're wasting time or wasting their money. But if you go to the highest potency package and you can't maintain it for several months, you're not going to get through to the full results you wanted anyway. I mean, some people get results really fast, and that's a different story. But you can't go wrong getting started with any of the starters we recommend on our website. So if you just go to NuSpecies.com, I'm going to just share my screen quickly because I want you to see this. Let me see, present, share screen, NuSpecies website. Okay, so if you're on our website, hopefully you can see my screen. If you'll see when you click on the shop menu, you have to actually click or it keeps disappearing. Okay, hold on. We have to fix this. Our site can be very annoying. Okay. Do you see here cholesterol support? When I click on that, you'll see that we've got a couple of options. There's your starter, and then there's something a little bit more powerful. And then there's even other customizable options Aston can provide you. Even if you were to just get this support starter, you're already helping your body build the foundations of repairing itself. And by the time you actually get on with Aston, you might already be seeing results. You'll have a lot more detailed questions you can ask. So it makes the consultation with Aston much more fruitful if you've already been using the products. So my recommendation for cholesterol is to go right here. The other thing I want to tell you before we come off is on our site, I think I'm logged in as me. Yeah, if I sign in, I want to show you here. If you click on this little widget that says earn points, I'm actually logged in. So I can see the points that I have to spend. Of course, this is just a testing account, so it's not real. But if you want to earn points, you would click here to earn. And then you've got this cool refer a friend option. You're going to earn 600 points. And we made it 600 points so you automatically could earn enough points to get a discount by referring a friend. Once you click on that, you can give 10% off to the person you're referring. So Verona, you were saying that you keep referring other people. You just click this link and then go ahead and paste it into your WhatsApp chat, into your text messages, into an email to your friends and family. And anybody who uses this link to buy, not only will they get 10% off, but then you will earn enough points for every one of them that buys using that link to get discounts for yourself. So if you join our loyalty program for any reason at all, it's to do that refer a friend. But you need to be logged in on our website. So when you click on this little person up here, I'm now logged in. But if you see that you're not logged in, like this, you have to actually sign in. If you forgot your password, click the forgot your password. If you're having any trouble, just email us or call us. But you have to be logged in order to have these options here to go to refer a friend and copy this link. That's your route to giving them a discount and you to get an immediate discount. But if you want to earn in other ways, you can like us on Facebook. You can share our store on Facebook. You can do something on Twitter. You could follow us on Instagram. All of those things will earn you more points towards your discounts. So I highly recommend that you go ahead and utilize our loyalty program. And I'm going to just stop sharing now. Okay, so Verona, hopefully that helps you there, but for everybody else, please. And then if you can go, before you leave today, make sure you subscribe to our channel. We're still trying to build up our access to cooler features that YouTube has. And we need not only more subscribers, but we need more watch time. So if you share our videos with other people, then when they watch, that builds up our watch hours and helps us make our channel a bit more sophisticated for all of you. So we would like you to subscribe before you leave today. And then do I have anything else here on my list? Yes, for those of you who have amazing stories, wonderful testimonials, even just a lot of love to share. Maybe you didn't have a serious health issue that went away, but you just really believe in what NuSpecies does. I would like to get you on your computer on a video with me, just like this, but instead of Aston, it'll be me and you. And I'd love to record a conversation between us about what you think about NuSpecies. Even if you don't want to get into your detailed health stuff, but just to talk about how you love NuSpecies, that would be amazing. We would love to post those on our channel, post them on our social, put them on our website, because the best person to tell others about NuSpecies is you, not me and Aston, because we look biased. Obviously, we think our products are great. What we need from others is to know that you think it's great. So if you are willing to hop on a quick video like this with me, and you can, do your hair, put your nice outfit on, whatever you need to do, I'll make sure you look great with your lighting and your setup. And then we'll just do a quick conversation, and we would love to post that online and help us promote NuSpecies this year. So please reach out to me. You can just email support@nuspecies.com. And I'll put the banner up again for those of you who need our contact information. Just email support and address it to me and just say, hey, Jillian, I want to do a video conversation with you. I would love to do that with you. Aston, anything else you want to say to wrap up?
Well, this is going to be a very important year in the history of NuSpecies, folks, and we need you all on board to help us help more people. So tune in, get family and friends to tune in. We're going to send you links and flyers and all sort of information to share with family and friends, especially those stubborn ones that you beat over the head with a sledgehammer and they still don't call and try to get help. We're going to give you more tools to use to help, help more people. So stay tuned, and thank you for joining today, and Happy New Year again. And we're looking forward to spreading the NuSpecies culture with you to other people around the world. That's our goal this year.
All right, everybody.
All right.
Have a wonderful
Bye-bye.
day. Bye. I'm going to put the little thing on. Okay, now I can officially say bye-bye, everybody.